Hello. Selena and I have more poetic construction for you. Selena loves writing poetry. Some of it only she understands, which is what poetry is about, right? Just like all forms of art, you create it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Art is created for yourself, and then you can share it with others. But the meaning is different to each person who reads it or views it and sees it. So I want to talk to you more about poetic construction, and then I want you to think about making some really creative, like sentences that mean different things depending on your words. I mean, because that's what writing is. I'm going to switch into the other view so that you can see this in a bigger screen. And then we're going to analyze a sentence. Actually, I'll show you the sentence before we go cut down. This is a sentence that Maria Montessori wrote, and everyone uses this to teach these lessons. It's a fun sentence. The schoolhouse still stands by the road. There's a lot, like, I get these like mental images of what that looks like for me. Like I see like a curving country road with a schoolhouse, and that it's obviously old. It's still there, and it's just I get lots of visual pictures. Can you picture something, or do you picture what I said now that I said it?
I can like understand what you saw, but I said something kind of different.
Okay, so see, when we read beautiful words, we make beautiful images in our minds. Okay, I'm going to switch into the speaker mode so that you can see the sentence. The schoolhouse still stands by the road. We're going to cut this up. What is our predicate? What is the action? What is happening here?
Still stands, or is it just still?
Can you still?
No. Still stands, or is it just stands?
Just stands. So
okay.
Cut up stands and put it right up here under predicate. Stands. That's what's happening. Stands. Okay, who is it that, or what is it that stands?
The schoolhouse.
Okay. The schoolhouse. Okay, now we have these two pieces left, still and by the road. Let's see, I'm gonna move them down here so you can see all of our questions. Whoa. So do you know one of these? Like when we look at them, I'm just gonna set them right here so you can still see them. By whom or by what? By the road? By
Not
what?
really.
By the road? Maybe?
Kind of.
Where? By the road?
That is.
Is that where the schoolhouse is? By the road?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to set it right next door to it, but I did. Okay. So now we have still. Still. So think about this. How is, or not how, I'm sorry. What does still mean? The schoolhouse still stands by the road. Still. What does it mean in this sentence?
Kind of like a time period.
Yeah.
Like it's been there for a long time.
Yeah, it still, after all this time, stands by the road. Right? Like it's, see how you can make these sentences really beautiful? And so what we have here is we have stands as our predicate. The schoolhouse stands. The schoolhouse is our subject. The schoolhouse stands still, after all this time, it's the time. The schoolhouse stands by the road. That's the place. It's where it stands. Okay. The schoolhouse still stands by the road. Whoa. Okay, so now let's look. I have another sentence. How about this one? Same words. Still stands the schoolhouse by the road. Still stands the schoolhouse by the road. What do we think about that one? What's the predicate? What's happening?
It still stands. Oh. It is stands.
It stands.
I was saying it.
It's again, it is stands. Okay, cut out stands and put on our predicate.
That sounded weird.
I know.
The first word is still.
Okay, so we have stands is our predicate. I'm going to move these down here so we don't crowd too much up there. Okay, stands. Who is it that, or what is it that stands?
The schoolhouse.
Okay.
Make me question my thoughts.
That's my goal. I want you to be actively engaged. I don't want it to be like a memorization practice. Okay. So then we're left with still and by the road.
What do you think? Still.
Still be the same?
Yeah.
Well, by the road, did the location or the place change?
Oh.
So that's still the where, by the road. But this, I'm meaning still stands the schoolhouse. What does it mean to be still? What is it?
Not to move.
Not to move. So is not to move the when, the time?
No.
No. So I'm saying it's standing still, like calmly. Still. So is to be calm or to be still, is that by whom, by what? When?
No.
How?
No.
How is it sitting there?
Still.
How? Okay. So now when we rearrange it and we say it differently, the words are exactly the same. But now we've changed it by how we said the words. Still stands the schoolhouse by the road. I can't move that up. Okay, we have another sentence. By the road, the schoolhouse still stands. What's your action? Stands. Who is it that, or what is it that stands?
The schoolhouse.
The schoolhouse stands. The schoolhouse stands where?
By the road.
And then what about still in this case? By the road, the schoolhouse still stands.
To me, it sounds like time.
Time. Yeah, but did you hear how different that sentence sounded? Let's move it up here. By the road, the schoolhouse still stands. The schoolhouse still stands by the road. By the road, the schoolhouse still stands. You can write some really beautiful writing, really beautiful poems or stories using this inverted order or poetic. This is the last lesson we called inverted order. This one's really poetic construction because you're using the words, you're moving them around to convey different feelings and different meanings. So here the word still meant after time, like when or how long it stayed, but also how it stayed or how it was there. It was still. There weren't children running in and out. It was still. Okay. So there's lots of really cool things you can do with poetic construction. I can't wait to see some of your poetry that you create out of this. Another thing you can do for follow-up, you can write your own. You can find a poetry book and you can look for some examples of this and see what that looks like in poetry that you can read. So maybe you want to look up some poetry and look at how they've changed this. Because look here, the verb in this one is all the way at the end of the sentence. Whoa, Selena just realized that. Here it is in the middle. We're used to seeing it in the middle, and here it is at the beginning. We could have done it this. Stand still, the schoolhouse by the road. Because then we got the verb first. So the verb can be anywhere in this sentence. See if you can find the verb in a strange location in your sentences. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.